So I'm back here again playing visual novels, huh? Okay. Well, luckily, I found some more games to talk about. However, things will be a little bit different. You see, I got these games from an app store on my phone, and because a lot of the games I saw there weren't as interesting anymore, I decided to go on Steam, which was just me walking on eggshells. Let's just say that some of the games are interesting. Very interesting, as a matter of fact. But I did find one mobile visual novel that I just need to talk about it first, okay? What the hell is this mess? Who's My Neighbor stars our protagonist Tadada now. He wakes up in a random bedroom with all his memories gone. A woman named Manami walks into the room and explains that she is the neighbor of Tadada now. He's been in a coma for 7 years and just woke up now. Now. And then some silly anime antics happen. Okay, let me address the massive elephants in the room. Yes, that is Luffy from One Piece. Yes, this game does look like ass. And no, it never gets any better than this. My favorite part is when the sentence is too big to fit in the box, so the entire font changes size in order to fit. It also tries to be super raunchy and dirty in some scenes. The only example being the shower scene. I couldn't stop laughing because there's a giant censor bar over Manami. There's also this one scene at the end where it was just Goofy. She was completely naked. Yeah. Something that looks really egregious, though, is the art design. It's not really a good sign when the one and only character you can visibly see is a gross 3D model of an anime girl. What's more gross is the faces that she makes. And the music. It's bad. This game sucks. 1 out of 10. I was in for a surprise when I opened up the game for a second playthrough. Damn, what language do we speak?
German.
Okay. German.
I'm kidding. Wait, whoa, what? English.
Oh, that is loud. Oh. Find Love or Die Trying is a game show, starring an amnesiac protagonist that I named across 2 playthroughs. NordVPN and Bahaja Blast. These names, dude. Anyway, Bahaja just woke up on a plane without his memories. Before him stands a lady named Kat, and she's pretty heckin' cute. Kat explains to Bahaja that they're on a game show called Find Love or Die Trying. Hey,
oh my god,
the
name of the
game.
game?
You just
said the name of the
crazy,
game.
That's the name of the game.
You said the name of the game.
It acts like a standard dating show. The twist being that if the girl you confess to doesn't reciprocate the feelings, then you... With nothing else they can really do, Bahaja's objective is in plain sight. Go along with the dating show and also find out what the hell's going on. The main love interests are pretty interesting. We have Yui, who is the sweet, loving one. She apparently knew the protagonist from high school, and she clearly has a crush on them. Then Scarlet, she's the smart one. She can also be a little flustered by the interest she has. I also find her really cute. Then there's Terra. She's a streamer who's obsessed with video games. Then there's Allie, who's a tomboy. She's super energetic and peppy. She also makes weird jokes. And then there's Violet. She's rich. They're interesting, and they have a lot more depth than what I just described. The gameplay is like an average visual novel. I don't know what you're expecting. You can do your basic stuff, like making dialogue options, going out on dates, you know, until something spooky happens. Yeah, this dating show isn't really what it seems, without spoiling it. I also want to say that at the very end of the game, you can actually get the ending with your special someone. I chose Kat. But anyways, I thought the game was pretty good. Enough to keep me invested. Especially the music. Whatever songs that weren't average stock music, they're pretty good. Major shout out to the opening theme. It's really orchestral and I like it. 10 out of 10 game, would recommend.
VTuber メイドラミエ
Man, these VTubers are getting out of hand now they exist IRL. Virtual Mage Dreamer Rami is a story about a depressed man named Narumi. He works in a soul-crushing job at a cafe, and is barely happy with life, with the only thing keeping him going are the streams from the popular VTuber Ramiya Matsuka. And one day, after arriving home from work, she's just kinda there, chillin', getting a snack. Rami tries to explain why she did this. She sees Narumi as her master, and because he was always there for her from the very beginning, it's her goal to make him happy before she disappears in a sense to heaven. A plot on the weirder side, especially because of Rami's character design, but I'll welcome it. Then it follows as a slice of life where they do the mundane. Mainly things like going shopping or finding new clothes for her, and that's a good thing because Remy isn't the most appropriately dressed. I do kind of find this a little boring though. I do like slice of life, but only when it's an anime. I like to watch people having a good time, not play that. Though I do like the bond that these two have. I also like when Narumi starts to open up to her. I don't know, I thought that was pretty bittersweet. The UI is pretty good, and the music is alright. Pretty good, but sort of boring, I won't lie. 6 out of 10. I decided to name my protagonist Soap Dispenser, and I don't know why. Cafe Crush is a fairly short romp in the eyes of a neat-named soap dispenser. Because he's a loser, he decides to get a job. Eventually finding a cafe and meeting...
My name is Lily, from Kitty Cafe. Nice to
Whoa,
meet
whoa,
you.
whoa, whoa, whoa. There's voice acting? I mean, I don't mind, I like it. Well, sometimes, but I didn't expect it because most of the visual novels that I've played either had it in Japanese or none at all. Anyway, he meets this waitress outside who greets him. Her name is Lily. She's super friendly and nice and takes him inside the cafe, where he meets 2 other people who work there. There's the blunt barista, Josie, and the clumsy pastry chef, Amelia. Soap Dispenser applies and the game starts. This is one of those visual novels where the choices you make affect the people around you. This mainly happens at the cafe when talking to the girls. Sometimes they'll talk to you and ask you a question, other times they'll make you play a mini-game, but overall, pretty normal. The game is fairly short, lasting for less than an hour. And at the end, you can get a special ending with one of them. Now, because I'm a man of high caliber, I chose Amelia, and...
I don't think I like you in that way. I'm sorry. Maybe we can just be friends, right?
I got her! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! There are some drawbacks, though. The voice acting can be a little woof sometimes, and I don't really like the lack of original music. I mean, I can see why, but it feels like I'm at a daycare right now, and I don't like that. Everything else is pretty alright. 7 out of 10. This is the second visual novel where a cafe was the most prominent setting. Well, second relevant one. This game is a demo, so there's not really much to speak about it. You're a man who I named Girl Anime, and he's the new manager of the Girls Cafe, where he meets 4 waitresses: Sana, Ayase, Nanase, and Hayasaka. I don't really get much of these characters. I understand that it's a demo, but it still feels really short. Like, 30 minutes. Not trying to sound pretentious, but I kinda expected it to be a little longer, just so that I can kinda soak in these characters, you know? But yeah, it didn't really keep me that interested. I'm sorry. 4 out of 10. Oh, but Nanase showed me their balls, so... Okay then. And that's it! That's the end! I had a pretty alright time today, and I even got to cover one more visual novel than I usually do, so that's always great. In the meantime, just play Persona 3 Portable, it's technically a visual novel.